Hello Internet, welcome back to our Magiclysm playthrough. That's right, we were trying to get this Bone Caster or Bone Seer to join us. Oh, why did you... I hit the move button, but it opened the conversation window? Okay, well I think you need another quest. I don't know why she didn't want to join us. Is there a way I can help you with your song? The song is quiet for now. Perhaps with time, more notes will be etched in the bones of this world. I see. Why won't you join me? Only those that bear your mark. You specifically said that you were giving me your mark. And so I'm guessing that this is just a broken thing. Because I don't see any reason why this individual would not join us. You mentioned the cycle when I gave you bones. What did you mean? I don't know if I think we already talked to her about that. You mentioned the songs, singing bones. What are you talking about? What do you actually do with the bones? Song is weaved in many... Yeah, you're just spouting nonsense. End the world what? Sounds somewhat doomsday-ish. Great. Why don't you join me? Okay, let's trade some items. You don't really have anything I want. Bone broth. Big surprise, she has bone broth. Apparently the bones we gave her are now broth, bone needle, bone flute. Yeah, I get what you're going for. It's a cute character thing going on. It's very interesting. But at the same time, just don't understand why she won't join us. So we're going to leave. Obviously, if I were like a more malicious person, we would just kill her. Because I'm pretty sure we could critical her and put her down immediately. She has been taking damage, I would think, from all the enemies. So it's very interesting, but she doesn't. It just doesn't seem to work. I don't know why she would say we need her mark when we have her mark. So we're gonna ignore her and let her go about her business. She'll probably get herself killed as she moves in. What is this? Football field. Never seen that before. A pool. Man, am I sick of pools and cemeteries. We can go ahead and mark this as explored, as well as this house has been explored. Yeah, I don't think we want to go that way. We would head up here, check out the sewer for CBMs, check out the school maybe for books, and then we'll want to hit these banks because they could potentially have power armor. I think military surplus can also possibly have power armor. For now, I think we'll head back to our vehicle. We are tired, so I think we will sleep. We also took some damage over the last couple of days. Did we pick anything up that we need to get rid of? Well, I really don't want the tainted bones. We've already used the map. I don't really want that either. I don't know when we... I guess for cooking, we were reading that book. It's been several days since I played last. We'll also reload our SIG while we're here. Only 5,000 rounds left. Oh my goodness. We're getting so low on ammunition. That's a joke. We're good. We're probably never going to use all the ammo that we have. And if we do, I will... Do we have the interior lights on? Always with the interior lights. So we're going to just sleep. Let's back up a little bit. Just because you really never know how far your scent carries and things. And the further we go... Oh, you can see through the cracks, of course. Yeah, that's something that Cataclysm does. Oh well, it's not a big deal. We'll overcorrect it. We'll pull in here. We're far enough away from town that the likelihood of zombies showing up is pretty low. There are things that could scent us out, but like I don't think like wolves and things will attack a vehicle. So I don't think that that's really a concern. Oh, I got a sneeze coming. Oh, 2 sneezes. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a nap here. Is everything closed up? It's daytime. Yeah, so it's closed up. Let's go ahead and sleep. Oh, it made my head pound. Sneezing. So I have a lot to talk about today. So it's the weekend. Currently it's Sunday as I'm recording this. On Friday, so I had just recorded a bunch of tome. And on Friday, my computer stopped working. It stopped trying to fall asleep and get up. Getting real sick of this. You'll see we are tired. We also have a CBM that is supposed to put us to sleep. So I'm getting very frustrated that this is happening more and more often. So why don't we stop? And I want to turn on this CBM manually. And we're going to go to sleep. And it should help us sleep. starts working its magic. See, this is supposed to automatically trigger when I try to go to sleep. However, it's not. It didn't give me that printout any other time. So I'm thinking we need to turn that on manually. Maybe I misunderstood the description. Anyway, Friday, computer stopped working. Did not know what to do. Freaked out about it because, of course, I do YouTube. And I have videos uploaded to YouTube that are private, and then I make them public on the day that they go live. You know, I set up their titles and descriptions and thumbnails and all that. I can do that from the family computer. That's not a big deal. The problem is all the stuff on this computer that had not been uploaded yet was hours and hours of footage, like literally 8 episodes of Tome, several episodes of Cataclysm, all my Resident Evil stuff, which I've had to abandon the Resident Evil 4 series because, again, my capture card is a piece of trash. We can talk about that later. And yeah, I was freaking out because I thought, like, okay, well, I might be okay for a day or two, but like I'm down to the dregs on my Tome series. Oh, it's dark. Let's turn on the aisle lights. You know, I could get by for a couple of days, just upload what I already have uploaded, but I need to be editing and uploading new footage, or I'm gonna fall behind. So, started to freak out. Royal beef. No, we don't want to cook royal jelly. Let's go cooked meat. We should really be eating something that's not meat, but we'll go ahead and we'll eat 3 meat. We'll also check our weight while we're here. We are normal weight, so it's less of a big deal than I kind of thought it would be. So we'll grab this meat and we will eat the 3 cooked meat, and then we will step down here and we will eat something, hopefully vegetable. Yeah, pumpkin will do. We eat a couple pumpkin. We are hydrated and full. I think we're good with that. I didn't apply bandages or anything. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. We'll go ahead and pull back closer to town so we don't have to make long trips out to the vehicle. And yeah, it freaked me out. And I wasn't sure what to do. The computer basically would turn on, and then once it was on, it would stay on for about a minute, and then it would shut off, just go black. And at first I thought, like, okay, well, I have a really bad graphics card. It's an integrated graphics card. Maybe it's just, it finally gave out. And now it's not. Is this bubble smaller than it used to be? It seems like a mighty small bubble. Okay, whatever. We're going to continue. We do have that wet minus 99%. I thought this thing was supposed to help with wet. Head bumps. No, not head bumps. Skin, chitinous skin, slightly reduces wet effects. I liked Bark better where it like really reduced wet effects, but okay. Looks like we get to have a negative 30 plus from wetness. It does sound very loud. It's raining very hard in the game. We're going to be a little careful just because we're in a new-ish area and there are going to be a lot of zombies in this town. For now, I mean, we can mostly avoid them in the night. But with our night vision goggles. Oh, that's right, I set this place on fire. Kind of disappointing that it's still not really on fire. Skeleton, we're going to just ignore, I think. And we're going to head... Okay, cob zombies. Yeah, I think we're going to mostly ignore them. We're going to hit some of these buildings instead of... they're all houses. Animal shelter, houses, grocery store. And it's nighttime, so we can't even get good vision on the area around us. We're just going to hit houses, I guess. We really don't need stuff from houses. But, yeah. Okay. So it wouldn't turn on. I thought, oh, the graphics card maybe is dying, and so it's displaying a black screen. But it wasn't actually displaying a black screen. It was shutting itself off. And, like... I had run into that exact... The only thing I could think of, it looked a lot like when I first got the computer. No, not when I first got it. When I first got it, but it wasn't when it was new. Wolf suit. Get the furries. I tried to overclock the CPU, and unfortunately the CPU has this safety mechanism where if you do anything to the settings at all, if you change the factory at all... This CPU, or maybe it's part of the motherboard or something, I'm not sure what the problem is. as soon as you do anything to the CPU settings, it instantly shuts off the computer as a safety mechanism, is what I interpreted it to be. I had never seen that before or experienced that before, but anytime I would change anything with the CPU, it would shut off the computer, and then when I would start the computer, my changes would have been reverted. So it was like, I just assumed it was a safety thing, that I wasn't allowed to edit anything. And so it was like that, so I thought, like, maybe it's the CPU, maybe there's dust in there, and maybe the thermal paste is bad, and it's overheating, but why would it overheat 1 minute into running the computer? I left it alone for over the weekend, and was mostly, I would try it, but I would try it every 6 hours, so it's not like it's hot in there or anything. I don't understand why it's doing this. And so it would start for about a minute, and then it would stop working, and I started freaking out. Just get out of here. I don't want to deal with this. I'm so sick of hazy zombies. Our mouth protection CBM doesn't seem to work with the gas bag zombies, because they always seem to poison us. Don't really know what to make of that. I don't know what the point of it is, when the one thing that you would use it for the most would be those hazy zombies, would be my guess. And it just doesn't seem to do much. Check the basement. Hopefully not a spider basement, because we have all the meat we can handle. The heck is that? Stereo system. Okay. I mean, we could probably take that apart for some goodies. So, yeah, could not get access. I started, basically it would stay on for like a minute to a minute and a half. So I was like, all right, well, computer's dying. I might as well try to pull as much off of it as I can. So I started using a thumb drive to gather up my Magiclysm save file, because I thought we're going to need to transfer this to a new computer. And so basically it was like that for the weekend, and then today now it works. But I didn't know that, and I was freaking out. So what did I do? I went and bought a new computer. We're on the old computer. The new computer will arrive probably on Tuesday. And so my main goal was to, do what I could to retrieve things that I needed. Why don't we use... Really, it deals 12 damage. Oh, it's a 22, of course. We'll weave the SIG, kill this fella. Here's the sewer. We're going to avoid the tech... You know what? We're not going to shoot the shocker. We're going to use him for light, possibly, to illuminate the technicians, because I would much rather kill the technicians first. They're a huge pain in the ass. The shocker, I mean, if he wants to shock me, I'm fine with taking a little damage. Slavering biter. What I'm not fine with is having my gun pulled out of my hand repeatedly. So we're going to try to kill this technician before he can get away from us. So yeah, thought the computer was dead. I ordered on Saturday a new computer from Amazon. It is not what I wanted. Well, what is that weird symbol? Dazed? Why am I dazed? Visibly shaken up. Is that still... I've slept for hours and I still have the effect from the flaming eye. Man, you really seem to know where I'm at, and I don't like that. Let's kill the survivor. Nope. Let's kill the survivor. Just shoot at them to draw their attention. Of course, sound in this game doesn't really seem to do anything at all. So we're just going to shoot the survivor. No, ignore. Shoot the survivor. Back up. And, yeah, I didn't have... So my goal, I've been saving for months. And I mean months. I've been saving money for months to buy a new computer. And I was hoping, we'll save it for, up until around December. And then in December, I should have enough money to buy like a $1,200 computer. And that was my goal, was about $1,200. Because at $1,200, I could get an i7, which I really would like to have for streaming. Because it would guarantee I could stream in 1080p, basically. I really wanted to get a high-end graphics card that I would not have to replace anytime soon. I wanted a big solid-state drive because it would make my some stuff easier. One of the biggest issues I've run into with this piece of crap computer is that it uses 100% disk at all times, and I thought, even if I get a bad, hard drive, I could get a solid state drive. So if I was running into that, I could swap to using the SSD to speed things up. And so I kind of knew what I wanted, and I knew that looking around, it would cost me about $1,200. Unfortunately, I did not have that kind of money at the moment, so I didn't get to buy what I wanted to buy. In fact, I didn't really get anything that I wanted out of that. I had about, it doesn't really matter how much I had in the bank, actually. What matters is that I didn't have what I really kind of needed, and the maximum that I felt comfortable spending was about $800. Now you can get a pretty good computer for $800, but it's not what I wanted. I really wanted something with an i7 with a decent clock speed because I wanted to be able to stream in 1080p. And sometimes I see people on like i5s and they'll say things like, well, you know, I just can't. I can stream 720p, but I can record in 1080p, but I can't stream 1080p with this particular processor. And so I knew I didn't want an i5. I really wanted, like that was the one part of the computer that I was willing to spend a lot of money for, was to get a really nice recent processor, CPU. And so that didn't happen. So basically the specs on the new computer, I wrote them down because I know some of you are hardware nerds. It is an i5 9400F 2.9 gigahertz processor. Once I knew that I wasn't going to be able to afford an i7, I looked up kind of what to look for in an i5, and basically I was just told, look for high numbers. So 9400F is a high number, and 2.9 gigahertz was the fastest i5 that I saw. Apparently that number is important. I actually don't know very much about hardware, but people said, you know, if the eyes are the same, look at the clock speed and look at the number that comes after them, and the higher is better. So 2.9 is not terrible. I guess I don't know, but I trust that it's decent. And then it's a GeForce GTX 1660 graphics card. It's a 6 gigabyte graphics card. I'm not super concerned about the graphics card. One of the benefits of buying the computer that I bought is that it has a huge case. And so, like, my whole life when I bought computers, they're never upgradable because they always come in these tightly packed cases where you can't fit anything. And so I don't know what the motherboard is. You know, they pull random parts by like what's cheapest, so I'm sure it'll be, you know, not a great one. But I figured if it can accommodate, I'm pretty sure the 1660 is a larger, whatever. The point is, it's a decent graphics card. I would argue that this is like it's definitely mid-range, but it's probably on the high end of mid-range. So I'm not like super disappointed in the graphics card. Mostly, again, the processor was important for me for streaming and for video editing. Did I not drag the shocker all the way over here? I left the shocker behind. Great. Where's the shocker? Okay. There he is. We want just the shocker corpse. We don't want the whole thing. We're pulling them out to grab their CBMs. Ignore. Yeah. So we'll go ahead. Drag the shocker. Yes. Oh, hello. I'm busy right now. Let's smash him before we go. Okay, in fact, why don't we haul them into the basement here? Because that way, I was going to just turn on my light out here, but that would put us at risk from things being able to see us. So we'll just haul them into the basement where it'll be nice and dark, and there are no enemies. You can't haul into this? Stop hauling items. Okay, I probably knew that. I feel like that came up in our Apartment Rat series. So just go through the door, close that behind us to slow down the shocker, maybe? Of course, this door, it's not damaged. Okay. We're just going to drag them downstairs where we can have a little peace and quiet to take them apart. Go ahead and turn on our cranial flashlight, butcher everything, dissect. 2 hours. I don't know if our flashlight will last that long. Why don't we split them? Why don't we just do them one at a time? 42 minutes. 42 minutes. So if they each take 42 minutes, how does that come to 2 hours? That should be 2.5 plus. Maybe you get like a speed bonus if you do it this way, or maybe it only displays in hours and it would actually take longer. Whatever, we'll do them one at a time. Who cares? It also has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which I'm not excited about. Definitely going to need to upgrade that at some point. And 240 gigabyte solid state drive, as well as a 1 terabyte hard drive, which are pretty good. I mean, I expected it to have a smaller solid state drive. I see a lot of, I've been computer shopping. A lot of them have like half that, like 100 whatever gigs. And this one's 240 gigs. So that's like the one nice thing about the computer. Again, it comes in a pretty big, beefy case that will allow me to upgrade in the future. I was really disappointed when the computer started up again, honestly, because I was like mad at myself because I spent money on a computer that was not everything I wanted. Now, don't get me wrong, the computer I just talked about is going to be the best computer I've ever owned. It's going to be the nicest computer, most expensive computer I've ever owned. My whole life we've had, like, what am I thinking of? We've had, like, office computers my whole life. And so this is the first computer that's actually going to, like, it had specs on how well it runs. So what I'm noticing, we're not actually losing any power from... Why are we not losing power? We're not losing power from the cranial flashlight. Oh, because it's been converted to joules. Oh, it has significantly had its battery charge drain reduced. Wow. So this takes 3 joules a turn, which means we need to have it running for 333 turns before it even reaches 1 kilojoule. If my math serves correctly, which it may very well not. So, okay. That's quite a reduction to its power drain. That's interesting. We should just leave this on at all times because it doesn't have a passive power drain as long as it's on. I assume it burns calories or burns charge when used, but it only triggers when we sleep. So we want to leave that on. Maybe that's why it wasn't triggering before. Grab these. Anti-glare compensators I think we have, but we'll take it. Tool set we definitely have. Power CBMs we will take. Thermal dissipation CBM. Prevents heat damage. Does not affect internal body temperature. Yeah, we've seen this. We didn't take it because why would we? It just didn't seem worthwhile to me. So we got some CBMs out of this. Nothing exceptional, but so I was disappointed because like I spent, about $800 on a computer. Well, it wasn't. It was like 700 and something. But then I was fearful that I was not going to keep up with YouTube. So I was like, man, I need to get this as soon as possible. So I went with the highest shipping and all that. And that cost a lot of money. But anyway, I was disappointed after this computer started up and it's been running fine. And I've been testing, benchmarking stuff to see what the problem might have been. And I have no idea, and it just works now, and I'm like, man, I just spent more than half my savings to get something that wasn't even what I wanted, and I'm disappointed because now it's going to take me a long time to save up. But like on the plus side, I could upgrade the computer as I go, right? It's going to have that ability. Pretty sure that, I don't know the motherboard yet, but I'm pretty sure that if it accommodates an i5, a lot of times it can accommodate an i7, so I'm thinking I can upgrade the processor. Of course, that's just complete speculation. I won't know until I get the computer. But I figure I can upgrade it, possibly, and that would be, expensive, but doable. I'm not worried about the graphics card at all. This graphics card will run modern games pretty much without a hitch, and I'll probably be good for a couple years, at reasonable settings with this graphics card. The processor is what I want. And we're definitely going to have to test at some point whether I can stream with it or not. My expectation is that maybe I can stream in 720p, and that'll probably be it. And I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people like to watch in 1080p. But at the same time, I think, well, there are a lot of people who watch on mobile, and they're not going to care if it's 1080p or 720p. So I don't know. I just don't know. I should be excited. Like, I'm getting the best computer I've ever gotten. But mostly I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't hold out hope that this... I mean, I had to. I had to buy it, because if I didn't buy it, with my luck and my history, it was just going to never work again. And then I would have lost days on YouTube and people would have stopped watching. I mean, not that people watch anyway, but whatever. The decision has been made. The money has been spent. And I have 2 days until I get the computer. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm so angry at my computer for giving me grief. It will certainly... Oh, you're a technician. Well, now we have to kill him to get our weapon back. Grab the sig. You know what? We'll do this in the next episode. I should really wrap up. Trying to keep my episodes a little shorter. Man, I cannot talk today. My throat is disgusting. It's just really bothering me. Trying to keep episodes between 25 and 30 minutes instead of like 30 to 35 minutes. So it is going to be a little bit shorter. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me freak out a little bit. And I'll be back with more Cataclysm in the near future. See you next time.